Hello and welcome to another hair tutorial on this very requested braided high ponytail. And as I'm continuing my course on filming and editing outdoor videos, I have also prepared for you a quick lookbook. I'll be sharing with you two of my favorite outfits for special events. I hope you're going to like them.
Those eyes, desperation, hesitation for the wind, running from the darkness of the night. We'll be shining past the brightest light, just like gold, just like gold. Believing we can spark the break of dawn. We can find the power to be strong, just like gold, just like gold.
To start from sectioning my hair with a red tail comb, but long nails would also do the job. So I'm going to pick 3 tiny strands of hair in parallel, and I'm going to attach each of these strands separately. In a moment I'm going to braid each of these strands, so for the time being I'm simply securing my hair into a high ponytail. Now I can use the hair in the furthest strand to create a lace French braid. Many of you should be already familiar with the technique. If not, you simply pick 3 strands of hair, bring the outer strands over the middle one, and add some hair to the middle strand only from the right side. You cross, and you add some loose hair from the right to the middle strand. And again, you cross, and you add some loose hair from the right to the middle strand. I'm going to incorporate all the hair from this section into this tiny lace braid. Technically, this braid is very simple. It's just that sectioning those super thin strands of hair, if you're not used to it, can appear kind of challenging at first. But then, of course, practice makes perfect. Then I simply braid my hair all the way down to the ends and use a small elastic to tie the ends. I'm going to repeat the same procedure with the following strands of hair, and the main challenge of this hairstyle is to basically create your braid above the partn, because seeing the scalp in between the braids doesn't look very flattering. So I simply make sure to cross the strands right above the partn. Honestly, it's not always easy to do, because you cannot really see the partn from that angle. So if you're generally into hairstyling, I really recommend you to invest in a triple kind of an angled mirror, where you can see multiple reflections of your own face. This way you can always see what you're doing at the back of your head. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case when I was filming the video. I was just relying on my sixth sense. But finally my braids turns out just fine. I have to create my third braid, and if you're a beginner, I recommend you to start from just a single braid. Then maybe try it with 2 braids, and only then move on to this version with 3 braids, because even to me it takes some time. Usually my hairstyles take me like 5 minutes, while in case of this one, I think I have to spend like 15 to 20 minutes. But in the end of the day, I think that this hairstyle is really worth it. There's absolutely no problem trying out this hairstyle on medium length hair, and theoretically I could just tie my hair together with the braids and be done with it. But if you generally follow me on YouTube, you know that I'm all about length and volume. So next I'm going to create a high ponytail using my extensions. At first I have to decide where I want to place this ponytail. So I use 2 mirrors, find the spot, and section some hair right around this spot. It's going to be the base for my hair extensions. Today I'll be using my new set of Glam Time hair extensions. They're longer and thicker than my previous extensions, and they have been already highlighted. At this point you may think that I picked a wrong color, because the extensions appear lighter than my own hair, but it's not actually the case, since my roots are much darker than my ends, and the ends match the color of the extensions. I grab my first weft and I clip it around the base of my ponytail, as close as possible to the elastic band. Then I pick the following weft and clip it around the first one. And so on. And the number of wefts you want to attach depends on the look you're trying to achieve. Sometimes I use as little as 2 wefts to add some volume to my buns, sometimes I use like 5 or 6 wefts to create that XXL ponytail. And once it's done, I only have to hide the extensions under my own hair. As you can tell, I simply braid my hair into a high ponytail and smooth out the surface. Then I simply add the braids to my ponytail and tie it with a strong elastic band. And in case of such a long and thick ponytail, the best is to use 2 elastic bands. Finally, I can remove clear elastic bands from the ends of my braids. And now to glam up my ponytail, I'm going to hide the elastic band using a strand of hair from the ponytail. I secure its end with a bobby pin. You may notice that my extensions are kind of wavy at this point, while my own hair is totally straight. So now to enhance the look of my ponytail, I'm going to quickly curl it. And for the most stylish look, I do not curl the ends of my hair. And one last thing, since it looks a kind of flat on top, I'm going to tease it. And you should know that it's not recommended to tease the extensions. So I'm doing it very rarely, very delicately, focusing on the top layers of my own hair. So while this technique is awesome for natural hair, in case of hair extensions, it really has to be used in moderation. Next, I simply braid my hair to the back and smooth out the surface. You can create as much volume as you wish. Now this hairstyle is complete. You can only spray it with some hairspray for the best hold. And finally, I think that it's worth to mention that you can easily transform this ponytail into different kind of buns. There are plenty of them on my channel, and today I'll create the easiest twisted bun. I loosely twist my ponytail and wrap it around its base. I use a couple of hairpins to secure it in place, and this hairstyle is complete. If you're going to try it out, make sure to show me your creations on Instagram using the hashtag LilithMoonHair. Thanks for watching, and I see you in my next video. Bye!